This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, yes. You are correct. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, we are enjoying today, Friday, October the 24th of 2025, day 297th of the year, and only 68 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
We are radio. We are sarcasm. We are both combined. Radio Big.
Oh, yes, doing all of the fun stuff that we get to do, no doubt about that, as we are doing a little of this, a little of that, and all of the other stuff. So how have you been? How has the last 24 hours or so been for you? Because, you know, that's what we get to talk about. We get to talk a little bit about everything. So hopefully everything's been good and grand inside of your neck of the woods as we are hanging out. Now, I have to tell you, I was not aware the cluster that I was going to cause by wearing white yesterday. I was not aware that this was going to become a whole creature feature within itself by me doing so. So I apologize to those who were in total shock that I had a white shirt on yesterday that were on the video side. So there you go. I apologize for all the confusion, just in case. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I was aware, and I mean, I was kind of shocked on the amount of people that reached out talking about the different color shirt. Yes, I am fully aware that I mostly wear black shirts, but geez, man, that was to a whole new level. Okay, so let's start talking. Our show normally consists of safety in the news and safety. That's normally what we talk about. As if you have been here before, that's kind of the way that it goes. But with that being said, on Fridays, it's Freeform Friday, so we talk a little bit about everything. So mark it up here. This is episode 1226, Freeform Friday, October the 24th of 2025, in case you did not know. Okay, so let's start getting into how it works. If you want to interact with our show, it's a simple process to doing so. And all you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. That will get everything moving and grooving for you. It is it's the way that we do it. So there you go. It's the way that we do it. It's because we're here to shake it up. So call in radio, video, audio, text messaging is the way that it works. It gets
Crank
everything
it up
moving.
and shake it off like a legend. Welcome to Friday.
Yeah, so welcome to our Friday show. That is the way that we do our things, no doubt about that. Nothing else. So, I mean, you know that it's that Friday version of everything that's going on, and the weekend's just reaching out for you.
Hey, the weekend just called, and it said, will you hurry up? Please, hurry up.
I can't wait any longer.
Yeah, I can't wait anymore for us that we have to get moving with everything that's going on. So as we're going to talk a little bit today about everything that's going on, don't worry, I will give you all of the information that I have. I have some friends coming in from Feature Story News that will tell you what's going on inside of the news cycle, and then we're just going to go as fast as we can in regards to getting you all of the information that I got. As you can tell, we've been changing some things up, trying to get everything moving and grooving for you as we're going through. So like I said, callinradio.com will get everything going. So there you go. With that being said, let's bring in our friends from Feature Story News and let them tell us about what the hell's going on inside of the world.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in Brussels, I'm William Denslow. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is hosting world leaders in London for talks on ending the war in Ukraine. The country's President Volodymyr Zelensky is among those attending the Coalition of the Willing meeting in person. The UK is pushing for Kyiv to be given more long-range missiles. Up to now, the US has not supplied Tomahawk missiles to strike Russian targets. But former American journalist turned Ukrainian army sergeant Ashton Cirillo says it's not only Tomahawks that can make an impact.
That's step one, right? Whether it's Tomahawks, whether it's Storm Shadows, whether it's Ukraine's own Flamingo, anything that with the United States approval, which they gave approval for on the Storm Shadows, that allow us to strike deep within Russia is the game changer itself. So bring on the Tomahawks, bring on the Tauruses, and let's get to work. The Tomahawk will fly the longest. The issue with the Tomahawk, you need special launchers, and it's easier to go with the German or the British, French combination.
European leaders have failed to agree on plans to use frozen Russian assets to support Ukraine. That debate dominated much of proceedings as European heads of state, along with Ukraine's president, gathered for a summit in the Belgian capital on Thursday. Belgium's Prime Minister Bart de Wever says he wants more assurances from fellow member states.
If we want to do this, we will have to do this all together. We want guarantees if the money has to be paid back, that every member state will chip in. The consequences cannot only be for Belgium. And the third demand is that every country who has immobilized assets moves together with us.
Reuters reports that Indian refiners are positioning themselves to sharply reduce imports of Russian oil to comply with new US sanctions. This comes amid speculation that India and the US may be close to reaching a trade deal. Rebecca Bunden has more from Mumbai.
Industry sources told the news agency Reuters that Indian refiners are cutting oil purchases from Russia following US sanctions on two top Russian producers. This comes after the Trump administration in August increased tariffs on India to 50%, saying that this was punishment for New Delhi buying oil from Russia, which it said helped to fund the war in Ukraine. President Trump earlier this week said Prime Minister Narendra Modi had committed to reducing its Russian oil imports, although India has not confirmed this. Trade negotiations are continuing between Washington and New Delhi. Rebecca Bunden, Mumbai.
And President Trump has announced that he's terminating trade talks with Canada. This follows the release of an advert that's critical about the effectiveness of tariffs. In a social media post, the US president responded that these duties are important to national security and the economy. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, President Trump finally puts a bit of pressure on Russian President Vladimir Putin. The US unveiled sanctions on Wednesday against Russia's biggest oil companies, Rosneft and Lukoil, accusing them of funding the Kremlin's war machine. The two companies and their subsidiaries will no longer be able to access any property they hold in the United States, nor engage in financial transactions that touch US banks. Don Bramer is a former US Navy intelligence officer now running the Bramer Group consultancy.
Trump has given Putin every opportunity to make good on his word. And I feel like that the president's finally realized that, Putin's just playing him. He's dangling this carrot of a deal of peace, and it's not moving forward. And I think that finally the only way to, get Putin's attention is the one thing he knows best and loves is his wallet. For the president, he saw this as being a lot easier than it is, but, sometimes Zelensky's not the easiest character to play with. Putin certainly isn't. And so getting all three parties to agree has been just more difficult, and so he's finally got to start up the ante.
But it is far from clear that President Trump's new tough approach to Russia is going to be sustained, although he has now abandoned plans for another summit meeting with President Putin in Budapest that he announced only last Friday. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
FSN is an independent source of news for TV, radio and digital networks worldwide. You can find more of our minute-by-minute updates on Twitter. Follow us there at Feature Story. And we have a wealth of audio and video stories from our global news bureaus on Facebook. You can find us there by following Feature Story News. Stay tuned for further updates right here. But for now, that's the latest Feature Story News. William Denslow reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
Have you ever wanted to start live streaming and were not sure how to do it? You can start live streaming up to 40 social media platforms all at one time for as little as nada. It's going to cost you your time. That is what it's going to cost. You can pre-record, you can live stream, you can do a multitude of things. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com/1. That's safetyfm.com/1.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, let's continue with that terrible thing that we talk about here, talking about safety. Okay, that's not the terrible thing. It's me talking about it. It's really what it boils down to. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go into 15 minutes past the top of the hour and talk about the week in review?
The FBI sweeping in, making more than 30 arrests tonight, including an NBA star and an NBA coach who was coaching a big game just last night. Authorities say all part of a massive NBA and mafia gambling scandal. Investigators say they rigged poker games using high-tech devices, including an X-ray table that could read cards face down.
President Trump facing new questions about his latest pardon. Crypto billionaire Changpeng Zhao, an influential supporter of the Trump family's crypto business, who pleaded guilty to money laundering in 2023.
While in Washington, satellite photos show the White House's East Wing, both before and after the demolition, to build a massive new ballroom in its place, which the White House says is needed to host diplomatic events.
The government shutdown now in week 3.
Game 1 of the World Series, and the Dodgers left for Toronto this afternoon.
New sanctions hitting Russia's 2 largest oil companies. In response, the Treasury Department says to Russia's, quote, lack of serious commitment to a peace process.
Today, Amazon Web Services was hit by a massive outage that brought down major apps and websites like Fortnite, Snapchat, and Facebook. Everyone under 20 was like, not Fortnite. Everyone under 30 was like, not Snapchat. And everyone over 40 was like, not Facebook.
Okay, so there you go. There's your week in review in regards to what's happened so far. Like I did say, it is Freeform Friday, so let's go ahead and get into some of this stuff. Anyway, so let's do something different here. Flashback Friday. Let's talk about something back around this time, and because of the era that we're in, let's go back to 1988, and let's talk Hellbound Hellraiser II.
And now, Flashback Friday, Hellbound, Hellraiser II.
Someone else you think escaped us? Like Frank?
No, this one didn't escape. And it's you.
Nonsense.
It's you! You haven't always been this way. You were human. Remember all your confusions. Think!
Enough! Wait. I remember.
You were all human.
Yeah, so if that gave you nightmares as a kid, you're welcome. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of, of this stuff, of what we get to do. No doubt about that. Anyways, let's start talking right away about some things that are going on inside of the world, because why would we not do that? So take a listen to this one. In Corona, Queens, yes. In Corona, Queens, take a listen to this. 2 rookies NYPD officers are being hailed as heroes after saving a life of a 10-month-old baby who stopped breathing. Parents Asia Rodriguez and Brandon LeBroy said that the infant soon Malachi had just went down for a nap when he suddenly threw up and began choking. Rodriguez, watching the baby monitor, rushed to him and called 911 in a panic. Body cam footage of the footage shows the officers from the 115th precinct arriving quickly for the unresponsive kid. One officer took the baby, ironically dressed in a police-themed pajamas, and performed back blows until the obstruction cleared and the child started breathing again. Rodriguez said that she was overwhelmed with gratitude. I would hug them, but not let them go. My son's alive because of them. So there you go. Take a listen to this.
He's good.
He was choking. He had phlegm and he couldn't get it out.
Look at this charming moment. One of the cops is massaging the baby, calming him down after the traumatic drama. It's not lost on anyone that little Mackay was wearing a onesie with police written on it. Did the police notice it?
They did. They fell in love with him because of that.
So there you go. So, one of those feel-good stories for Friday. So there you go. Some stuff going on today as we are talking. Okay, so with that being said, let's start talking about some stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that is what we're here for. We're here to talk about, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and everything else that we could possibly get our mind into. Okay, so take a listen to this. Billy McFarland says that he has another documentary in the work. This time, the cameras are following his new event off the coast of Honduras, where at the start of December, he's hosting a low-key music experience and long weekend. The film is expected to shortly after the event occurs and could drop before the end of the year, he says, discussing the distribution with multiple streaming platforms. Despite selling off the control of Firebrand, the new doc will be called Fire 2. That was to be the name of the event that he had planned to produce this year. That became sidelined because of bureaucracy, confusion, and more general mismanagement and disorganization. This is according to Yahoo! So there you go. Some stuff going on right there. That is for sure. Anyway, take a listen to this one as well. A Baltimore area high school artificial intelligence power surveillance system wrongly tagged a kid for carrying a gun this week when all the student had was an empty bag of Doritos. The technology scans existing security camera footage to alert security officers about potential threats like weapons. The student's name was Tacky Allen. No relations whatsoever. Says that he was eating chips after a football practice, and about 20 minutes later, cops arrived with guns drawn. Allen says that they ordered him on his knees, cuffed him, and patted him down when they came up empty and found the empty bag of chips. Then they showed him the security camera that AI had tagged him. Allen said, "I was just holding a Doritos bag, and it was with two hands and one finger." And they said that it looked like a gun. This is according to WBAL. Also in AI, the Ohio legislature is considering a bill that would ban marriage between a person and an AI chat box. I didn't even know you could do that, but let's leave it at that. The law would define AI as a non-sentient entities and thus be ineligible for marriage. The state rep behind the measures as they applied the named Thaddeus Glaggett tells local media as the computer systems improve in their capacity to act more like humans, we want to make sure that there's prohibitions in our law that prohibit those systems from ever being human in their agency. This is according to NBC4. So that could be interesting. I mean, think about this right now. Because we do so many weird things, we are now having a conversation about not marrying AI. You are hearing what I'm saying, right? We are legitimately having a convo this morning about don't marry AI. Huh? Like, did you just tell me don't marry AI? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Like, how weird have we gotten in regards to some of the stuff that this has to be a subject of conversation?
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
I don't know what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be something, that's for sure, as we are talking. So let's continue talking about some other stuff, as that is what we do. Spooky season is around now. A homeowner in California says that her ring bell camera has twice spotted the same woman jogging by her house and only stop and punch one of the witch ornaments that's on the lawn as a Halloween decoration. In 2 incidents, the jogger passes the front yard, turns back, rolls up her sleeves, and punches the witch decoration, and then returns to give an elbow to 2 more of the witches. The homeowner says that the decorations are homemade and part of a setup every year. No word on why the mysterious punch-happy jogger or why they've singled out this particular house, because, that's going to be, of course, the other question that's going to come about of why are you coming by and punching my stuff? Because, that just gets weird. Because you start taking a look at it and you go, okay, I understand that you might be upset and not happy with some of the stuff that I'm doing, but geez, man, you have to come about and punch my my decorations, man. It's gonna get weird, like always, because who else would not think of any of this stuff? So let's see if I can do this, because it's always a magic time as we are trying to do anything here. So let's see if we can get some sound inside of this thing.
The house's front yard. But once she gets out of frame, she turns back around, rolls up her sleeves, then jogs up the lawn and open fist strikes one of the witch decorations down before running off.
I mean, this lady's hardcore punching this thing.
And there, she then comes back again and uses her elbows to hit the remaining 2 witches.
I've never seen her before, and I've checked with several of my neighbors, and none of them recognize her either.
And this isn't the first time it's happened. You're looking at video from the evening of October 11th. Just like Tuesday morning, a woman who appears to be the same woman jogs past the house, this time stopping to stare at the decorations. But then she comes back and punches all 3 witches down.
It's really disheartening, and not only that, not to just do it once, but twice. I just wanted to stop, really, that's it, because the kids really do enjoy it.
Why are you punching dolls, man?
Security.
Today I activated the voice command.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
This is not the only house on the street with Halloween decorations, but it seems to be the only one being targeted.
I am surprised that this lady is having a problem with the neighbor's house. I'm concerned about my house as well.
These decorations are homemade. The woman who lives here says she cherishes making new decorations for each Halloween, and she says she has no idea why this woman is doing this. She's also filed a police report. Reporting in Salinas, Zoe Hunt.
Oh, good old Salinas.
All right.
All right, Zoe,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, what an interesting time. That's for sure. There is no other way to put it. I mean, I would love to lie and say something else, but it's not going to be true. But man, does that get weird? Like, why are you coming up here and just randomly punching the stuff inside of where I'm located? So there you go. So let's start talking about some other stuff going on inside of this world. So I have something that we haven't tried yet. And maybe we should try it. So did you stay up late last night? Because if you didn't, you might need something to talk about today. And we can help you to get some stuff to talk about if you need it. So here are some of the monologues from last night. And let's start off with this one. This one's coming out of Jimmy Fallon. And this is talking about the ballroom that's being built at the White House.
Yeah, and get this. Trump just raised the estimated cost of his new ballroom by $100 million. To a total of $300 million. Americans are like, yeah, it's nice to know that even the president can get ripped off on renovations. It's like, yeah, told me it was going to cost $5,000. I don't know. You don't need a front door, I guess. Trump said that the new ballroom would be connected to the White House by a glass bridge. Because when women are dressed in a ball gown, they want to walk over a glass bridge. Hello, Cinderella. Hello.
So, I don't know. I mean, monologues are okay, but you have to stay up late for a lot of this stuff to be able to take a listen. So, there you go. Some stuff that is going on inside of there. Okay, so take a listen to this because some people are going to care about this. Paramount Plus has released the final trailer for the key art for Landman Season 2, which premieres on November the 16th exclusively on their streaming service. The Taylor Sheridan created drama starring Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, Sam Elliott, Ali Larder, and others dives back into the gritty, high-stakes world of West Texas oil country, where power, loyalty, and greed collide. In Season 2, Thornton's character Tommy Norris finds himself caught between mounting pressure from M-Tex Oil fierce rival Cammy Miller Moore and the shadows of his own past. As oil profits rise, betrayals, shifting alliances threatened, and everyone's survival behind the scenes, Sheridan teams up again with Christian Wallace, plus producers from 101, Bosky Ranch Production, and Paramount TV Studios. If you want to, let's do this.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't. You have to know the rules of the game and bend them. And you really have to know them to break them.
Hey, I'm from Texas.
Monty is dead, and now his trophy wife runs the company.
She owns it, but I run the company.
Okay, so if you're trying to get excited about Landman, there's your choices right there in regards to doing some of it. Let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because why would we not do that? Anyways, the Times Square New Year's Eve ball is being replaced for the 9th time ever. Waterford, the official crystal of Times Square New Year's Eve, will return after 2 years hiatus with a new ball featuring 5,280 handcrafted crystals next month. In addition of there being over 2,500 more crystals than last year, the new ball will be the first to showcase circular crystals in 3 sizes. Instead of traditional triangled ones, each crystal disc will also feature unique pattern matching the year's theme of infinite joy, infinite light, and infinite beginnings. By the way, the New Year's Eve ball debuted back in 1907. This is according to People magazine. So there you go. So let me ask you a question real quick. Are you familiar with Soft Cell? Well, if you're not, let's talk about this. Member Dave Ball has died. He passed away in his sleep at home in London on Wednesday, according to a statement from the reps. No cause of the death was shared. He's probably best remembered for his song Tainted Love. He was 66 at the time of his passing. In some very weird news, actress Isabel Tate has died. She passed away on Sunday, according to her obituary. No cause of death was shared. Tate is best known for her role as Julie in 911 Nashville. She was only 23 at the time of her passing. Let's talk about the Dow real quick, because some people are going to care about this. The Dow gained about 125 points to close at 46,734 on Thursday. The S&P increased by 38 points to close at 6,737, and the Nasdaq increased by 201 points to close at 22,941. The West Texas Intermediate closed at $61 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $65 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.07 on Thursday, and Bitcoin gained over 2%, trading right around $110,000. And tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for $680 million jackpot, or a $318.2 million cash payout. And Saturday night's Powerball drawing will be for $344 million jackpot, or $163.7 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, there's an opportunity to do so. Okay, let's talk about this one, because some people have heard about this and some people have not, but this was making some big news cycles yesterday. But NBA bust, Portland Trailblazer coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat player Terry Rozier, and former NBA player Damon Jones were arrested Thursday in connection to an elaborate gambling syndicate. Rozier is being accused for illegally helping bettors get paid by letting them know he was going to pull himself out of games with fake injuries. Billups is accused of helping mafia families such as the Bonanzas, the Gambinos, the Genoveses, the Lucchis, fleece victims of millions of dollars in rigged poker games, and Jones allegedly had a hand in both Rozier's and Billups' schemes. In total, 31 people were arrested on Thursday in connection to the two cases. This is according to the New York Post. So there you go. In some other news, a friend of Sean Combs claims that the rapper woke up in prison with a knife pressed against his neck by an inmate who allegedly snuck into his cell. We talked about this yesterday, just in case if you missed it. Chauncey Finney tells the Daily Mail that it's unclear if Combs fought him off or if guards came, but regardless, it happened. The story with Combs' attorneys have been arguing that he is no longer safe inside of the prison. No word on whether or not the latest incident will get him moved. This is according to the Daily Mail. So there you go. Okay. So what do you want to do? Because we got some stuff that we can do. We can move around and we can talk. So that's always the cool part on what we get to do here. So let's do this. Let's follow up on some of the stuff about Jay Cutler. Newly released body cam footage from Jay Cutler's October the 2024 arrest details how the former NFL player attempted to hit and run. While being questioned, Cutler also initially denied having had any alcohol, but then later stated that he was had a few drinks. A blood draw would determine that was a lie, and that he had a blood alcohol level of 0.23, which normally the legal limit is 0.08. Or that's really kind of the drunk portion once you get to that part. So let's see, about 3 times higher than the legal limit. As his behavior, Cutler gave the officers no grief when questioned. When they questioned him, cuffed him, and hauled him off to jail. So there you go. Do you kind of give you brownie points for that or not? I don't know. You see, it's always that weird one. Because we take a look at it and go, oh, this is good, this is great, that, people are not, quote unquote, resisting arrest. But, I thought if you're being arrested, you're supposed to cooperate, and if you have to call a lawyer, you call a lawyer, or if you get the public defender, well, good luck. Nothing against public defenders, by the way. So, I don't know. It's just always a weird, it's a weird mixture of things, as always. So just keep that in mind as we are hanging out. Okay, director Francis Ford Coppola is auctioning off 7 timepieces to cover some debts that he's incurred, telling the New York Times, yes, the New York Times, I need to get some money to keep the ship afloat. One of the pieces in the watch that he designed himself back in 2015 with F.P. Jones, a Swiss watch company. It was an open work design, meaning that instead of having conventional dials on the inside, they are fully displayed. In the center of the face of the gloved hand, whose fingers disappear and reappear in various configurations by the hour. Commercially, the timepiece goes for around, are you ready for this? $1 million. But the other pieces hitting the auction block include 2 Patek Philippes. I can't even name these things because they're so fancy. But in the meantime, Coppola says that he'll stick with an Apple Watch that he's currently wearing. Nothing against those things. There's nothing wrong with the Apple Watch. It's a good little watch here. I like my Apple Watch. I've had several of them at this point, and I think they're pretty good watches. I think it's interesting that people pay high bucks for watches. Like, you just heard that one, $1 million of potential there for one of the watches. But if you have a $5 watch or a $1 million watch, they all should tell about the same time. So there you go. I want to say that in my lifetime, not technology-wise, but probably the fanciest watch I ever had is a watch that was designed for the Blue Angels. And my lovely sister gave it to me one year. So very nice on her part. But, man, that was probably one of the fanciest things I've ever had, period. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there as we are talking. So with that being said, it is currently 38 minutes past the top of the hour. And if you're normally here on Fridays, you normally get a double dose of news, but we got so many news stories to cover that I am not sure on how we were going to cover some of them. So with that being said, let's continue talking. Tom Hanks rode the New York City subway, mostly incognito. The 69-year-old was photographed sitting on the Uptown train this week wearing a green beanie, glasses, and a face mask. It appeared to be a peaceful ride for the A-list actor, who was mostly left alone by fellow travelers. The mode of transportation is nothing new for Hanks. He has been spotted riding the rails several times as we are, doing the stuff. But, that's kind of, one of those things that people do. They ride taxis, they ride Ubers, they ride in public transportation. It should not be that uncommon. Sometimes I think we kind of freak out sometimes about the weirdest things in life. We're all just human trying to make our way home.
Oops. What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion. The book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. the Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, here we are. 45 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out, doing our thing. Always a grandioso time as we are doing our stuff. No doubt about that. This song right here is by Shöckface. It's called I Will Survive. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Pandora. So there you go. We would like to thank Shöckface for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. No doubt about that one for sure. Give that one a little streamer-eamer action. It will take you places that you do not expect. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to twloha.com. That's twloha.com. That is To Write Love on Her Arms. Once you get there, go all the way to the far right-hand side of the website and click on the section that says Find Help. You'll see information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and self-injury. That's just to name a few. Once you get there, all kinds of information. It can change the way that you look at things. That's twloha.com, To Write Love on Her Arms. Let's continue talking about some things that are going on today, because some people are going to want to know this. Some new movies coming out. So here you go. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. PG-13 comes out today. Let's see. Bruce Springsteen's journey crafting the 1982 album Nebraska, which emerged as the recorded Born in the USA with the E Street Band based on Warner Zane's book. So there you go. That comes out today. Also, Regretting You, PG-13, a drama of the strained relationship between young mother Morgan and her teenage daughter Clara, as corroborated by Morgan's husband Tragic's death, forcing them to navigate life's challenges together. So that comes out today. What else do we got? Here? Shelby Oaks, Rated R mystery horror limited release. A woman's obsessive search of her missing sister leads into a terrifying mystery at the hands of an unknown evil. So that comes out today. And Begonia, yeah, it's a Rated R thriller. Two conspiracy obsessed young men, kidnapped the high powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien with the intent of destroying the planet Earth. Yep. That's the one that they were asking people to shave their head for. Just in case. We've been talking about that one earlier in this week. If you wanted to go to the premiere, you had to shave your head. They had a barber that was ready to go to shave people's head. Because, I mean, I guess that's kind of the cool thing to do if you want to do that. So there you go. What else? What else do we want to put in there real quick before we go on to the next seggy? So we talked about new movies. Talk about this. Musical gender trends. Do you ever wonder why the song that defined your teen years is still so hard? A new Finnish study, from Finland, just in case, suggests that gender plays a role on when those musical bonds form. For men, the peak age is around 16. For women, it's closer to 19. Researchers say that the University of, I'm not even going to be able to pronounce that, but it's in Finland, found that a 3-year gap across nearly 2,000 participants in 84 countries. The different likely reflects the music fits into adolescence or teenage years. For men, they use music to form a rebellion and assert their independence, while women use it for an emotional connection. As we age, those patterns diverge further for men's tend to hold to their teenage soundtracks, while women are more forming their musical ties, with each decade bringing new opportunities for songs to become meaningful to them. So they're right. Men never outgrow the bands they listened to in high school, but they do outgrow the T-shirts. I'm also working hard to ensure that my children's musical bonds peak at what I listened to when I was 16. And boy, there is so much truth inside of what I just said there. There is no doubt about that. Let's do something a little bit more positive. Let's bring some John Smalls into our life and let him tell us about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Barry. Charles Spurgeon said, "Humility is to make a right estimate of oneself." Wow, this is a great topic. We've all met people who think they're way better than they really are, and their inflated ego is just deafening. But we've also met people who think they're not good enough, no matter what they do. They think they're not as good as they really are, and that's super sad to me. We are all amazing. You are amazing. That doesn't mean you're perfect, but that's okay. You don't need to be perfect to be amazing. And if you think you're perfect, let me tell you, you're not. Nobody is. You might actually fall in that first category we talked about. Don't go there.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
King Charles III made history on Thursday by visiting the Vatican, becoming the first British monarch in more than 500 years to pray with a pope.
The meeting between King Charles and Pope Leo XIV marked a symbolic step towards stronger unity between the Anglican and Catholic churches. Their private discussion focused on climate change and global humanitarian efforts, with both leaders underscoring the importance of faith in addressing global crises. Benjamin Wright reporting.
The United States has imposed sweeping new sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies, intensifying pressure on Moscow to end its war in Ukraine.
The move targets Gazprom and Rosneft, freezing assets and restricting energy sales through international markets. U.S. officials say the sanctions are meant to curtail Russia's ability to finance its ongoing military operations. European leaders have voiced cautious support, while Russia responded by threatening to halt energy exports to countries enforcing the measures. Lawrence Keller reporting.
China has announced a new 5-year plan that prioritizes self-reliance in science and technology amid rising tensions with Western countries.
The state-backed initiative aims to boost domestic innovation and reduce reliance on American semiconductor and AI components. Beijing's strategy includes large-scale funding for research institutes and tighter control over intellectual property. Analysts say the policy reflects China's push to secure its position in the global tech race. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
The U.S. government shutdown has entered its 24th day with no signs of resolution as negotiations stalled once again in the Senate.
Thousands of federal employees remain furloughed, delaying key government operations and paychecks across the country. President Trump urged both parties to reach an agreement, insisting that fiscal responsibility and border security can go together. Meanwhile, Senate leaders continue to debate a short-term bill to restore limited funding to key agencies. Liam White reporting.
President Donald Trump has issued a full pardon to Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, who had served time for violating U.S. financial regulations.
The decision clears the billionaire's record and restores his right to serve as an executive in U.S.-based entities. A White House statement said the pardon was part of a broader effort to support innovation and economic freedom in the digital asset space. Zhao expressed gratitude, saying he hoped to contribute to responsible cryptocurrency development. Kevin Sanders reporting.
4 family members of an Illinois gubernatorial candidate were killed in a helicopter crash in rural Montana late Wednesday.
Authorities confirmed that poor visibility and strong winds likely contributed to the accident. The campaign said the candidate has suspended all political activities following the tragedy. Local investigators have begun recovering debris across a wide search area, with federal aviation agents assisting. Kyle Norris reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
kind of music.
I get the best mix of my favorite music.
All on one radio station.
Another wild ride is around the corner on Radio Big.
Oh, yes, another wild ride indeed, no doubt about that. So let's start talking about some things as we are on the verge of getting you out of here. Let's talk about Alexa Joke Friday.
What did people do before sandpaper was invented? They just roughed it.
Yep, there you go. There's a lovely little joke for you if you need one of those today. That is for sure. What else do I got for you? So let's take a gander here because there's always some stuff to take a look at. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date because that sounds like a thing to do. If we take a look back at 2021, Tom Brady becomes the quarterback, the first quarterback in NFL history to record 600 touchdown passes. He reached the milestone with a pass to Mike Evans as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers took on the Chicago Bears. Tampa would win 38-3. Brady finished his career with 649 passing touchdowns. So there you go. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, Jalen Ramsey, 31. Daniel Shelliker turns 37. Drake, 39. Tila Tequila, 44. Monica, 45. Corey Dillon, 50. Kevin Klein turns 78. Murray Abraham, 86. Billy Wyam turns 89. And Robert Mundau turns 93. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, it's United Nations Day, National Bologna Day, World Development Information Day, and World Polo Day. So there you go. Some things to celebrate if you're so inclined to do so. If you need a random joke for today, security at every level of the airport is over the top until you get to your baggage claim area. Then it's like, well, take whatever you want. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What is the craziest dare you've ever accepted? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. 9% admit that if we've stolen this from a hotel, what is it? Toilet paper. That reminds me, yesterday I went somewhere and I was inside of a restaurant and a lady had toilet paper hanging out of her pants. And essentially the hostess person that was there went up to her and told her that there was toilet paper hanging out of her pants. I almost thought that it was like fake. And the lady pulled the remaining portion of the toilet paper out of her pants and threw it on the floor. And I was at a place where you do handhelds, like you kind of like grab the food by your hands. And after she threw the toilet paper out, never stood up and went and washed her hands and started eating. I thought it was the most interesting thing that I had seen all day. Yeah, I know. Sad life. Anyway, so there you go. That's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If not, you can hang out here on Safety FM and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would like to leave you with this. Sometimes you have to let go of the picture of what you thought life would be like and find joy in the story that you're actually living. Think about that. This is something to think about. It'll take you farther than what you think. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.